Well, we're about a week and a half away from the 2010 Alzheimer's Association Memory Walk, and we welcome in from the Great Lakes chapter of the Alzheimer's Association Executive Director Jennifer Howard and the walk director for Jackson, Ann Zerby. Welcome. Hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Ann. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Thanks for coming over today.
Thanks.
Well, this particular fundraising event seems to get bigger and better every year here in Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. And the memory walks are really our largest fundraiser and provide the most amount of funding for our local programs and services.
It looks like you have a lot of support from those organizations in the community that deal with families that are experiencing Alzheimer's in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that those organizations understand the best just what it's like to live with the disease and the kind of things that the caregivers face every day. And so they understand what we're trying to do, and really our vision is a world without Alzheimer's. And so a big part of our mission is just to eliminate the disease, and no one wants that more than the people that are working directly with those families.
Well, you're either doing a really good job with getting the word out about the disease, or we are experiencing more incidents of Alzheimer's, or maybe both. Which is it?
Well, we hope we hope that we are getting the word out very well about the disease, and that's definitely what we're trying to do, is just to raise awareness and make people realize how prevalent the disease is and how many people are affected. But also, as the population ages and as the baby boomers are getting older, the numbers are just exponentially increasing. And we currently have over 5.3 million people in the United States with the disease.
Wow.
Over 180,000 of those just right here in Michigan. And by the year 2050, we estimate that that'll go up to about 16 million. So it is incredibly prevalent, and more people know about it, more people are being diagnosed, more people have the disease, unfortunately.
It sounds like it's because there's more people in that population. Mm-hmm. Or the baby boomers are just aging into it.
Mm-hmm. And right now, the number one risk factor that we know is simply how long you live. And so the longer people are living, our life expectancy keeps increasing. We keep seeing more cases of the disease. It's about 1 in 8 people over the age of 65. And if you are healthy and lucky enough to live to 85 or older, it's almost half.
Oh,
it's
my
1 in
gosh.
2 people will have Alzheimer's disease. And that doesn't, not to mention other types of dementias that can occur in different types of brain diseases.
Wow. Living longer has the side effect of Alzheimer's, potentially.
It can, yes.
So we need to raise some money so we can get this disease wiped out. Mm-hmm. And you're responsible for the walk here in Jackson.
Yes, we have a lot of members, community members in Jackson, who are going to be coming out on September 12th, which is when the walk is going to occur in Cascades Park. Really excited about it. It seems like it's going to be even better than it's been in years past. So just starting to get really excited, only a week and a half away. So
How does the fundraising occur? People get pledges to be walkers?
yeah, anyone can walk. There's no minimum requirement for the amount of fundraising that you need to do. We want to encourage everyone to come out that day and get engaged in their community and get engaged and find out more about the disease. But you can sign up online. The website is www.alz.org/mglc, and you can look up what walk you want to join up. We have walks all over Michigan. And you go ahead, sign up. You can do online fundraising, and you can also send out to closest. We have donation forms you can send out to your closest friends and family.
And your platinum sponsor is Late Gain Retirement Centers. Your gold sponsor is Highland Alzheimer's Care. And your silver sponsors are Vista Grand Villa, Chelgen and Tripp, and Ridgecrest.
Yes, and we also have Gerdau Maxdale is involved with us this year as a sponsor.
If someone would like to if someone would like to help but can't walk either on that day, how else can they participate?
There's a lot of ways. We don't require that people do the walk. We want, like I said, we want to get people out there. We want to get them as much information as we can. They can come out that day and just cheer on the people that are walking. And that is a fantastic way to show your support for the caregivers and the families who are dealing with this disease.
Besides the walk, what kinds of things are going on that day at the walk?
We'll have food there. The Jackson Chorale is going to come out and sing for us that day, and we'll have other entertainment there that day before the walk, as well as we hope people will stick around and spend time with other people after the walk. So.
And you have an honorary chair and MC and all that?
Yes, we do have Nikki Dobson, who's from Adrian, actually, is coming in. She's doing fundraising for the Jackson Walk. She's going to speak that day. She's actually an interesting person because she's dealing with early onset Alzheimer's disease, which is something that doesn't get talked a lot about in the press. But
She herself?
No, she has family members. She's dealing with being a caregiver for someone with early onset, and she has a really interesting perspective. We're hoping that the Senior Resource Center is our honorary chair, and someone from there will be out there that day just to support and be there. So that's fantastic. And Greg O'Connor will be emceeing the event.
Great. He appreciates cocktails before the events.
We'll see what we can do.
Absolutely.
How are we doing with the disease? Are we making some progress? Any good news?
We are making progress. We have an event every year, an international event, where we bring in researchers from over 74 different countries, sort of the cutting, edge type of researchers. And the event is called ICAD. We just had it recently in Honolulu, and a bunch of really great things came out of that. We get a bunch of researchers together, and we find out the latest about what they're researching, and it helps kind of move our mission forward. And we've made a lot of progress in terms of diagnosing the disease earlier. We're always looking at treatments. Of course, we're always looking for something that would cure the disease or prevent the disease, if we could find a prevention for the disease. And I think what researchers believe is that the key to that is diagnosing earlier and finding out what some of those triggers are, because we know that there are certain people that have genetic markers and other people who don't, but not all the people who do will develop symptoms of the disease, and we don't really know what triggers that or what makes the disease start its progression. And so I think we're really trying to get out ahead of the disease and see what we can do in terms of prevention, but we make steps all the time, and there are always new treatments, and it's very encouraging.
Is there any proven technique or therapy to prevent? Because we're all seeing these stories. If you eat blueberries, if you don't drink alcohol, and do we know?
Or if you do drink red wine or dark chocolate, which I thought was great news, but. There is no proven prevention for the disease, but what we do know from researchers is that the healthier that we are, especially the more heart healthy we are, the more brain healthy we are. And so that's a big part of our mission, is to get the word out about brain health and to teach people what to do to take care of their brains. If people were to develop the disease, they might develop it later on, or the symptoms may be less severe than they would have been if they take better care of themselves. If they're eating, they're getting lots of antioxidants, eating their blueberries and their dark green leafy vegetables and all of those things. People who exercise more fare better. People who maintain social contacts tend to fare better, and people who challenge their brains. So, sort of like exercising your brain and challenging yourself mentally really tends to help.
That makes so much sense, because we as a country we're dealing with this prevalence in obesity, which is a byproduct of inactivity and bad eating, and that's also we're seeing an increase in the number of Alzheimer's diagnoses.
Well, what we know is that people we always talk about the numbers, your cholesterol level, your blood sugar level, all of those types of things, and people whose numbers are not so good, they also tend to be brain unhealthy. So we really encourage people to try to do those things to keep themselves, well within their numbers, and to keep a good healthy weight and all of those types of things.
Well, good. That's progress that you've made. If you know that, that's great news.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we need people at the park at Cascades again, and the details on when and where people need to show up, or how they need to get in signed up ahead of time.
Definitely. We strongly encourage people to register ahead of time, although we will be doing registrations the day of at Cascades Park. Registration starts at 12 o'clock. The walk will happen at 1. If you do want to register online, you can go to www.alz.org/MGLC and look for the Jackson Walk.
Great. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you at Cascades next Sunday.
Next Sunday, September 12th.
Thanks for coming in.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You bet. Good to see you. From the Alzheimer's Association, the Great Lakes chapter, Jennifer Howard and Ann Zerby.